Hi, this is Carol in the teen department, and today we're going to do a saltwater etching project. What it's going to look like when I finish is going to be something along the line of this. It's just a little initial. My name starts with a C, and I happen to be a cat lady, so I've got kitty cat ears and a tail on it, just to be funny and interesting. So that's the kind of thing that we're going to end up with here. The first things that you're going to need are plain old salt, half a cup of water, and when you put the salt in the water, yes, it says half a teaspoon of salt, but do a pretty generous teaspoon, half a teaspoon of salt, and yes, I probably went closer to a full teaspoon in mine. You're going to also need lots of Q-tips. You're going to need an aluminum or a steel tumbler cup, something that has aluminum or steel that you can do some etching with. You're going to need a 9-volt battery and 2 sets of alligator clips. So what I have found through trial and error is you want to clip your 9-volt battery, the positive side, to the actual cup when you get ready to do the work. And I'm kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit because I'm going to take it back over to this camera. What I did was use our Cricut machine, and I printed out a silhouette of Baby Yoda, and that's what I want to put on this cup. So if you're doing this from home, what you can do is use contact paper for the same purpose. Cut out a design in the contact paper. Throw your design away like I threw Baby Yoda away, and stick the outline onto your cup, because that's what you're going to be needing to do the saltwater etching. What we're technically doing, the sound that makes it sound a little more official, is this is an electrochemical process. We're corroding the cup, the steel or the aluminum, to make the buff sort of color that you get on the tumbler. So let's get started. What you need to do is, like I said before, the positive clip goes onto the tumbler, and then on the negative side, I've got Q-tips that have been soaking in the salt water, and I'm going to clip the opposite end for the negative post onto my Q-tip and back over here to this camera, and I'm going to just put the salt water onto Baby Yoda here. Now, this is a very slow process. It's not something fast, so it's not going to be done in 5 minutes. It may not even be done in 25 minutes, just depending on, number one, your battery strength, and number two, how good of a contact that you're actually getting between the salt water and the metal in the tumbler that I'm using. You can tell that I'm making progress because the Q-tip is actually starting to turn black where it's making contact with between the electrical current and the salt water. So it's just a long, slow process, and it does take some time. And another thing, you really do want to use some ventilation if at all possible, simply because this does smell. It's kind of like a burnt egg sort of smell, so it's not a real pleasant smell. So you can tell that I pretty much used up this Q-tip. It's all brown on the end of it, black on the end of it, yellow, all sorts of nasty colors in there. So I pick up another Q-tip. One of the things that you also want to do is routinely, I'm going to wipe it off with the paper towel first, so that I can kind of actually see, because I'm already starting to get some of the chemical process happening. It turns a little bit less shiny if I rub my finger over it. So you can see that there is some corrosion taking place. I'm going to pull out another Q-tip and just keep going, because it takes a while, but it does eventually, as you saw on my other cup, it does eventually happen. So I'm going to keep working, and if you want to do a Cricut cut item, what you can do is call the teen department at the library and arrange to set a time that you can come in and use our Cricut, and we can get you started making your own design for your own tumbler, or it can be a iPhone or other phone holder that has some metal in it. We've seen some of those that have been etched. So just keep working at it and come by and see us, and we'll help you out. Thank you. I'm just gonna keep working and get my baby Yoda looking a lot like my little C over here on my other cup. Thanks.